Hey everyone, Arthur Fantastic here again, updating on the J-Rod situation. J-Rod just came out with a video on Sunday. I'm making this video on Monday and I'm going to release it on Tuesday. So there's been about a day for it to pretty much cook in the atmosphere that is IG and the internet. I'm going to place the video in here and then I'll catch you on the side. We'll discuss it and some more context that we got from various sources on Instagram.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to come on here and offer some clarity and just be transparent with everything that has been going on. So in regards to what was on my phone, there was screenshots of woman's public Instagram page as well as explicit material. I am aware that this is invasive, inappropriate, and just unhealthy behavior. And I am also aware that just because these posts were public, it does not make my actions okay, and I take full accountability for everything that I've done. Now, in regards to the rumors that I'm hearing using AI to generate explicit material, secretly taking photos or videos of people, more people being involved than there actually is. These rumors are false, and it only drags more people into something that they are not a part of. I'm not saying this to defend myself, but I am saying this to stop the spread of unnecessary harm. Lastly, I just want to once again reiterate, stop reaching out to people looking for answers in regards to who it was, etc. Women in the community. Please give the people affected by my actions the privacy and space that they deserve.
So this video from J-Rod is finally the clarification that we've been waiting for. It is giving the particulars, though not giving the names, which, hey, I can understand where he's coming from when he presents it that way. We'll discuss some names like Ali Wolski, who's been posting on Instagram, who is tired of getting basically harassed by people for whatever reason, whether they're looking for information or maybe they're trying to shame her or something like that. I'm not even sure what exactly she's hearing from them. I think I took some screenshots, so I'll cut them in and I'll look at them too before I really comment on them. But right now I want to discuss J-Rod's video, right, and the context he gives. See, like I said before in my previous videos, I'm speculating, it's conjecture. And I guess I had speculated things to be more intense than they are being presented by J-Rod at this moment, because what he's saying in this video doesn't seem severe enough to warrant a ban per se. I don't know. You know what I mean? I think that we are starting to get into a territory of gray, and it's a difficult matter to discuss in the current milieu of society, where we have to we're trained to immediately believe the victims, and we are quick to throw men under the bus and shame them and humiliate them publicly. In this particular case, it looks like J-Rod himself is humiliating himself publicly because he's the one that's coming out with information. And to his credit, like I said before, if he's going down this religious path, I definitely understand, and I do appreciate him bringing clarity and confessing, if you will, what he did wrong. But the question here then is, what are, we can all give our own thoughts. What are, in the comments, please, guys, what are your thoughts on him being banned for what he described? Now, his assertion, according to his video, is that he had screenshots of chicks and he also had pornography on his phone, and this was the sum total of what happened. See, I thought unhealthy interactions, as we discussed in other videos, which I think misquoted as toxic interactions or something like that. These unhealthy interactions, I was guessing, was actually on the mat, and you're just like you're doing creepy stuff, or maybe it's off the mat and you're talking and you're just coming off as a creepy guy. But his whole presentation is saying that the problem was he had a folder of pictures of women from their public Instagram, and like not videos of them that he's posting or he has secretly taken or anything like that, or secret pictures of them. It's publicly available pictures, and corn, right? I said that so many times in the last video, from wherever that has someone look like them, okay? And that's what caused him to get banned from the gym. See, and I might make it in this video. I don't want this video to run too long because people are looking for information. So I might make it its own separate video as a part of the series, maybe gym culture series or something like that. But there's this short talk of this guy discussing how, in a very flippant manner, like, oh, if you don't want to roll with women, then, oh, you're just a creep. To what extent is J-Rod, to what extent has J-Rod crossed the line? There we go. What extent? Where is the line? We have to find the line, define it, make sure it's not arbitrary, so it just can stay immovable, and then say, well, he crossed this line. Where is that line? Is it the pornography line? Is there some type of gym culture in the open, free culture of MMA and jiu-jitsu, grappling? Is corn some taboo subject, or is it something that people joke around in both genders, or sexes rather? I don't like using the word gender. With both sexes, is that a word that invokes we shouldn't be talking about it? Or is it something that is common in the locker room culture, as I call it, of fighting sports? Okay. I would have to say that for most gym, there's always like there's like playing effeminate, like, oh, jokes. And then there's also jokes about corn, especially among guys that don't have women. I mean, it's some type of bonding, like, you know, we're all going through the same experience type of thing, or maybe it's some type of confession, you know what I mean? Maybe it's some type of shame kink. Who knows? Yeah, people just like to talk about stuff, and, you know, they don't come to the gym to be a judge-free zone. So, question once again: where is the line, and where did J-Rod cross it? Now, if he had took a picture unbeknownst to them, if he had like relations with them and secretly took them and like was keeping that around, maybe even showing it to the people, which again, that makes me question, tangent real quick, how does one get caught with a concealed folder of this in your phone unless you're trying to show people? Or are you doing this, or is this, once again, is this a work? Is this all for publicity? But back to the question, where's the line? Where did J-Rod cross it? Okay, is it corn, where we hear it on a normal basis, people joke about it all the time? Is it the idea of masturbation? See, I don't know if you guys know this, but women masturbate too. Oh my God, they're not just fucking pure, don't know what sex is, fucking little naive babies. All right, they're adults, and so they masturbate too. And guess what? Though they do also view pornography. It's such a ridiculous thing to in this situation to have to self-censor because of some kind of algorithm. But women consume pornography, just not at the rate men do. So maybe the conversation may be more common among men, but nonetheless, in every gym culture, I've definitely seen some type of conversation to that effect, or of whatever. You know, people are free and feel like, you know, we can joke around. Um, but as I said, women masturbate too. Women watch porn to a lesser degree, but you know what else they do? They very often, like majority of women, they read erotic novels, romance novels, if you want to use some soft language, erotica, if you are in the know. And the whole thing, and they go online and they look up fan fiction of their favorite movies, and it gets all hot and spicy, if you know what I'm saying. This isn't some small market. This is a large market in terms of publishing and online presence, guys. And guess what? They don't have pictures for all these characters. Sometimes they're imagining a person from their life. Many times, I'm sorry, many times. Okay, I've been around women. I've been with enough women to know these things. It may be the man in their life. It may be the man that they have a crush on. It may be someone's they know their friend's father or something like that. Okay, and they cast the roles in the book to real people, or maybe they make small adjustments in their head, and those are the people that they're imagining as they read their book and self-stimulate. So the whole idea that there's something wrong with this, okay, is that because he got caught with it, not necessarily that the action of masturbation or even fantasizing about people that you know is incorrect, because we can't blame people unless we're all just never fantasizing about anything or never have. Okay, and where's the line? Under what system of morality and ethics are we appealing to then thus be able to shame this? In my last video I discussed, and the first one as well, oh well, if you come from a Christian point of view, of course pornography and whoremongering is a bad thing that should be shamed and apologized and feel guilty for, and should be shamed publicly. But what are we doing with J-Rod here? Are we applying the same standard of what we think about men's sexuality and pornography and masturbation with women? Now, this isn't a what aboutism. This is, are we holding this standard? Are we even holding the standard against ourselves? We've never fantasized about our whatever teacher, whatever in our life, or a babysitter, or some other woman that we met in our life. You know what I mean? Or for the women, have you never fantasized about any man or woman, whatever? What are we talking about? Oh, it's the raccoon. It's the raccoon. There's like a family of raccoons. I saw it. I'm alert. I'm vigilant, guys. I take my own advice. But that's a tangent. If this is the case where we're not holding a constant standard, then this is starting to look bad. All right, this is making the sport look bad. This is rubbing off it's that sport where, you know, people are you jerking off to their teammates and stuff like that. This is something that can be completely avoided. Once again, as I touched on in the first video, is like some limitation or level of separation, not completely, but because, you know, women need to go against men and feel that resistance, and it's not bad to go with a smaller or equal size or even bigger woman, and having different body types to go against, different flexibility and range of motion that women have is something that some men also have, and that might be a good look to have in your experience of grappling, so that you've encountered this problem to then when you encounter it in competition or someone else, you have some level of some level of strategy or tactic to deal with this. That being said, this then has to go to, if this is not a standard we're holding consistently across the board, then what this then in itself is, it is unjust. Okay, and we are only shaming J-Rod because men are easy to shame, throw under the bus, and their sexuality is absolute, oh, gross, cringe. You know what I'm saying? But for women, it's not. It's like, oh, sexual women. Oh, yeah, of course. Let's all talk about this. And you know, there is some level of intrusiveness of taking somebody's picture from online and then putting it next to a porn, and masturbating to it. Okay, um, and I think that's a level of severity that once again reveals the progressive issue of looking at porn in a destigmatized way. Like, we destigmatize porn. This is the logical progression. Well, I fantasize about these people. Why not just put the picture and have a video of someone that looks like it? And in some way, I see jujitsu there. Oh, this is a direct path of what I'm already doing. I'm just going to just do it directly. Why try hard and picture them? Why not just have it on my phone and I'll just look at it? Once again, this is something that's been going on among humans and is ongoing. We still don't talk about it. And somebody finds out about it and they're like, oh, I'm offended. You know what I mean? But what is the culture of sex in America and society as a greater conversation? Is it like, oh well, sex is sacred and we have to have boundaries, or is it free love and whatever your fantasy? You know what I mean? De gustibus non disputantum. We don't dispute taste. Which one is it? Because we have, like, for instance, just to highlight the hypocrisy of this moment, we have Craig Jones, who goes to Colombia to snort coke and fuck bitches. I don't hold him to, like, against that. Like, if I could go to Colombia and, like, I don't want to do anything with the old nose candy. I don't want to do anything with the nose candy, but I do have that inclination to see what it's like to go to Colombia with all their beautiful women and meet another woman that could be, in my harem of wives. But is that something that we shame, or is it cool because Craig Jones is a funny guy, he's not creepy, he's charismatic, and he doesn't have, like, we know he jokes about porn, we know he jokes about Gabby doing an OnlyFans thing with Gabby, which did that actually happen? I don't know. I don't actually care to look or want to know. But these are jokes that they're, I'm pulling out the pants and I'm in this, like fucking, what were these called? They used to call them banana hammocks. Maybe that's what they're called, banana hammocks. Like some ridiculous trunks. And it's a joke, you know what I mean? He makes sexual jokes. It's like oh, it's always not okay unless it's me, you know what I mean? And that's where we really see this unfolding and that makes me think, ultimately, that there's more to the story than we're being told. There must be more to this, because it seems like a weak thing, like, to ban someone on. Yeah, it's like kind of weird or whatever, and maybe you give them a chewing out or a talking to, but is that necessarily something to ban a person? Is this a temporary ban until you get your fucking addiction into order? And if that's going to be a problem, are we going to, as a society, continue to stigmatize porn then and masturbating, so that we don't have neats and incels who don't have to be, like, that's voluntary. That's not incel, that's a volcel. That's a vocel. It's a voluntary and celibate person. So a voluntary celibate person, like J-Rod, good looking guy, once again, like, has notoriety, has a following, makes money on the things that he does, is one of top number 2, top 5% of his field, let's say. That's very generous. He's definitely in the top 1%. And why don't you have a wife or a girlfriend? You know what I mean? I was gonna say a chick, but is that, that's misogynist? He obviously likes women, so I'm not assuming his preference. I mean, even if it was the other way, he could find someone. All right, but here's the problem: it is way too easy to just go home and find something free, or once again, how does one have this concealed folder be discovered unless he's talking about it or has it open at the gym? So is he going to the locker room, leaving it over there after using it or something like that? Like, I don't understand to what extent this all happened, and so there must be more to it. Once again, these are all my speculations, and it's completely conjecture. I'm not making any accusations at all. I am only trying to extrapolate from the data that we have what happened and why is it so severe. And it's like, because it boggles my mind how it's all being handled. Um, but let me get some closing thoughts in here, and I'll make another video discussing Ali Wolski's post. I was going to put it in this video, but if you're looking for that portion and you got into this far in the video, I'm going to, and I will when I edit, put it in the notes that I'll put it in another video, because it's worth of its own conversation, and I'll put that for bonus, that video that guy posted, it seems also to be at B Team, who made like a really flippant statement on intersex rolling. Okay, obviously there's a lot going on here, and we can't just be flippant about how people and their preferences, and that's who they're rolling with. Like now, that also bleeds into the conversation we're having of J Rod's preference. If he's doing it in some weird, really creepy way, yeah, and is downloading someone's pictures and putting it next to porn like a level of severity that's kind of ridiculous, yeah. And is it a little bit creepy? Yeah, but is that predatory? Is he a predator? People are calling him predatory and a predator. Like, in what way is he preying upon someone? In what way was anyone physically affected? And it's, if the emotional issue of being affected by this is only so far as you allow it to be. Now, would I feel some type of way if my wife, was her pictures were taken off a public forum and someone masturbate to it? I'd be upset, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't want them around me. So I can see that level of, okay, well, these women have some type of feeling about it, and their significant others, if they have one, have some type of feeling about it. I don't want this person around. Okay, all right. But I think we have to have a larger conversation about corn, about like the habits a person has with masturbation. Do we have a standard to which we can hold them, or are we just on the fly saying, well, that makes me feel this way right now, and so therefore it is bad? But we see it happening, and it's only that they don't get caught. Like, most people don't get caught doing all this fantasizing shit because they don't have it in a fucking folder and then download porn. These are levels of, like I said, like, wow, you have it downloaded to your phone. And once again, I can see the streamlining of like, oh, I just need to do the thing and I have the thing right there. But, you know, and other people going in a roundabout way. Oh, I cache them in my mind and I fantasize them about while watching or reading. But, you know, this conversation is, what this really is this breaking up, and the way that they're handling it is the lack of discussing it, which is only creating more publicity for it, which in itself may be the attempt of what Craig Jones is doing, for better or for worse. This could be an entire work, as I mentioned, where they had planned all of this, like, okay, we're just going to come up with something vague, and, you know, we're going to just keep milking it out on social media. And, you know, I tend to believe that this is real. It could be, I say, speculation, but I tend to be in the portion of people that think this is a real thing and what's happening is an actual thing, then they're not just fucking making shit up. That all being said, now that we have the information, so, you know, which I think there's more to develop in the future, but now we have this information, what do we think? Is that ban worthy? Is that ban worthy? What, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, creepy? What is that? How creepy is that? You know what I mean? Is it only creepy when dudes do it, or is it creepy when chicks do it too? Where is the line? Where is the standard? If there's no standard, there can be no justice. Only the tyrant or the tyrannical rule of individuals and their feelings. I can think of all the people who this sucks for. It sucks for the women, sucks for J-Rod, sucks for J-Rod's brother, sucks for B-Team, sucks for the grappling community as a whole. Because for some reason, this is what people click on. I talk about a whole bunch of other stuff on this channel, but this is what people click on and want to discuss. What could possibly be that severe to warrant a ban? And do you think that is worth a ban, or should there have just been a meeting and like some time talking? Was there any of that, or is I felt that's predatory, that's abusive, and bam. To his own description, Craig Jones has his own sexual fetishes, like the late great Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? And which is I included in the clip of my last video on this channel, discussing Craig Jones and his predilection for catch wrestling via pro wrestling and the number of ideas that he's basically just straight up ripped from catch wrestling. But that is a story for another day. And what's important right now is this. The conversation that can't be had is because we can't talk about sex when it comes to men. When it comes to women, we're sexual beings and fluid and this and blah, and you know what I mean, and masturbation and a rose and blah blah blah, you know what I mean, and I gotta clean myself and treat myself like a queen. And men who have a significantly harder time finding a significant other, not only even men of notoriety, find a significant other and the ability to, just get play with the opposite sex. Why when we find out that he masturbates, which this culture is totally fine with, we immediately throw him under the bus? I don't know, guys. When I had envisioned in my mind the scenarios that probably could have led to this ban, it was not this. In fact, this is more mirroring one of my other opinions where it was like, well, if he did this, like, I don't know if a ban is worth, like, if he took someone's public OnlyFans or public pictures on Instagram where women thirst trap and wear basically nothing and give themselves wedgies so that their ass is out, like, that's what you put out there. What did you expect? You sexualize yourself and then someone else sexualizes you. Now it's a problem. Or, you know what I mean? It's like the worst thing you can do is sexualize a woman. Just as bad, not sexualizing a woman. And there lies the rub. Where is the line? Where is the standard? What is wrong? What is right? And how did J-Rod cross it? That's the question I leave up to you guys. And I hope to discuss in not the next video, because I'm going to be filming the next video now, but the next video after that. I'll try to, if anybody decides to discuss this, we'll bring it up in the video that I follow up with, if there's anything to follow. With that being said, as always, stay up, stay vigilant, stay locked and loaded, stay brutal. Always stay brutal. Shalom, shalom. Peace. In.